Good morning friends, once again welcome back to Cookeazy kitchen. Today we are going to make dosa or idli for that matter. So we'll first make the batter. So let's see how that is made. So I have rice and urad dal. So this rice is specially used for making idli or dosa. So while this rice is easily available across all grocery stores in south of India and rest of the country, it is better that we go to a South Indian store where this is available and buy it. And also this is urad dal. This is called black gram, skimmed, rather dhuli. Now the ratio is very simple, 3:1. So I have 3 cups of rice and 1 cup of dal. So now we need to soak this for about 6 to 7 hours. So I am going to transfer this into a vessel and soak it for about 6 to 7 hours. When we soak this, we can soak this together, both rice and dal. We don't need to soak it separately. So we'll see after 5-6 hours what the next step is. So I'm going to transfer this to a grinder. So you ideally need a grinder for this. If you don't have a grinder, normal mixer grinder will also do, but it is better that you use a grinder. Now a grinder is easily available on any of the e-com platform, so you can buy it from there. So we'll transfer this entirely to the grinder now. So you don't need to add any water as of now, because whatever that we add from this will do. Now I have transferred both rice and dal into this. To this I am also going to add one more thing, that is cooked rice. So you don't need to cook this especially for this. Whatever rice that we might have cooked for the previous meal, you can keep a portion of it. So even the ratio here is 4:1. So of the entire quantity that I have put here, 1/4 of rice is what I am going to add. This is cooked rice, so this will make it a bit soft. I have added that. This is boiled rice. If you have boiled rice, nothing like it. Otherwise you can use the rice that we use for normal meal. So it is done. I am going to grind this for about 5-6 minutes and see how it turns out. So now we will check how this has got grinded. It is nicely coming, but we'll just, on the sides there are some rice, so we'll just add them into it. See, looking at the consistency, we know that we need to add some more water to it. It is very tight. We'll add a bit more water to this. Also at the same time, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to it. So I've added 1 teaspoon of salt to it. Now I'll also add some water. So I'm adding about 50 ml of water, and then we'll see. I think that should be more than enough. Now we will further grind this for another 5 minutes. So now we'll check this once again. As you can see, it is still stuck inside. There are some rice yet to be grinded. So you can see the consistency is still not there. So we are going to add half a cup water more. So I'm going to add half a cup water to this. This should be fine, but we'll see. Once it is grinded, we'll see. So now let's check if it has become a nice batter or not. Now it has become a nice batter. We will just check this. So this is really grinded well. very nicely done. We would need some more water, but we will add that later. It is now nicely grind. It has become a nice batter. We would need some more water, but we will add that later. Now I am going to transfer this to another vessel. I have taken a steel vessel here, so I am going to transfer this to the steel vessel. So now I have transferred the batter to a bowl, a vessel rather. So I have taken a bigger one because we need a bigger one because it is going to ferment. So now we can see the consistency is not there, so we need to add some more water. So here I am going to add half a cup of water more, and we'll just mix and see how it turns out. See, after mixing this, we see that the consistency is still not there, so we need to add a bit more water. So this is 1/4 cup of water that I am adding. So now this is perfect. So for your reference, we've added 1 3/4 water into it. So half a cup we added when it was grinding first, then we added another half a cup. After that we've added another half a cup, and lastly 1/4 of a cup. So it's about not 2 cups, 1/4 short of 2 cups of water is what we added to the quantity that we are now making. Having said that, you can looking at the consistency and decide if at all we need to add a bit more water or not. So even if it is slightly less or short, it's not going to make such a big difference, so don't worry about it. But you can follow this quantity to arrive at a final solution. So this batter is smooth and fine now. Now we'll keep this for overnight. So if it is summer, if it is really summer time, you don't need to keep it overnight. It will spill over. 6 to 7 hours is good enough. So if it is peak summer, you'll have to check after 6 hours how this been fermented or not. If it is fermented, then we'll have to refrigerate this. So after 12 hours, roughly about 12 hours, we kept it for fermentation, and let's see. See, this is nicely fermented now. So please note, you don't need to add anything else to it to get fermented. I mean, no chemical needed to put in here. It will ferment on its own. So now let's see how do we make dosa out of this. So I've taken a pan here. I'm gonna lit the flame, and we'll wait for this pan to get really hot. Now this is a special dosa pan. You can also use a non-stick if you want, but I am not using a non-stick here. I am using a proper dosa pan. And now the pan is heated. I am gonna grease this with some oil. Now we will spread this evenly. So it is not necessary that you get this right at the first time. You just need to keep trying it. You won't get it right at the first time. After making 2 or 3 of them, it should come naturally to you. So we will also add some Desi ghee on top of this, on the surface. I use Desi ghee. You can also use oil if you want. This will make it more crispier and more tastier. So you can make various types of dosas here. If you want soft dosa, then don't spread it too much. Make it slightly thick so that you will get soft dosa. But if you really want crispy dosa, you'll have to spread it even wider and evenly. And when we take it will really become crisp as you buy from a restaurant or anywhere. It will really become crisp. See, now this has become crisp. You can see it. So you can just fold this or you can take it as it is, that's also fine. So I'm gonna fold this to show you how crispy it can get. So this is my dosa for you. We can have this with sambar, chutney, gunpowder, anything. So we'll also have the videos for sambar and chutney separately. You can go and check that out. So it's a healthy dish. You can have it at any time of the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime. So please do try this at your home, and if you like it, please subscribe the channel, like, share, and send us your feedback. So till the time we meet again with another recipe, thank you and goodbye.